Have you ever felt a shiver down your spine at the thought of prophecies about the day of judgment? Surreal images, interwoven between life and death, have instilled fear in humanity since the dawn of creation. Through the thick fog of the Bible, the four horsemen of the apocalypse emerge, mystical beings riding four horses of enigmatic colors, bearing disease, war, famine, and death. They are not merely symbols of destruction, but also the final warning from God. Who are they? Why have they appeared? And can we escape the fate that seems preordained? Beyond their terrifying imagery, they represent the ultimate judgment, a forewarning of the world's end. Is this merely a myth? Or is it truly God's cautionary message to us? Let us embark on a journey to unravel the mysteries, where every detail will draw you into a vortex of curiosity and chills at the revelations that await. From the deep shadows of ancient biblical texts, the figure of the first horseman slowly emerges, a majestic presence riding a pure white horse, shining like the first light of dawn breaking through the darkness. His arrival resembles a guiding beacon, yet at the same time, his mysterious and enigmatic aura sends shivers down humanity's spine. In his hand is a sharp bow, a symbol of authority and an unstoppable force of conquest. Upon his head rests a radiant crown, evoking the image of a reigning king, a master of every battle on earth. But does this regal image truly represent goodness and salvation? Or is it merely a mask hiding a looming plan of destruction? The true identity of the White Horseman has long been a profound mystery, a topic of endless debate among scholars, theologians, and believers. Some believe that this horseman is the embodiment of Christ, the Savior, bringing a light of hope to humanity. They see in the pristine white of his horse a reassurance that redemption exists, even in the darkest moments. The bow in his hand is not meant to destroy but to protect, to vanquish evil, and to lead mankind toward divine light. Yet, not everyone views him in this way. Many voices, darker in tone, argue that the White Horseman is not God's messenger, but rather the Antichrist, a dangerous deceiver. Cloaked in the guise of light, he seduces humanity with false promises, only to lead them down the path of ruin. The bow in his hand, instead of a symbol of salvation, becomes a tool to spread disease, devastation, and chaos. The crown, far from representing peace and hope, symbolizes ambition and a dark power ready to plunge the world into the whirlpool of conflict and instability. The image of the White Horseman is a blend of light and shadow, of good and evil, leaving humanity puzzled. Could it be that what appears pure and beautiful is, in fact, the root of great danger? Is the light he carries meant to illuminate the way? Or is it a veil concealing the shadows creeping behind him? This horseman compels humanity to question, is he a bringer of hope or a harbinger of terror? When we gaze upon the White Horseman, each person may see something different. To some, he is a saint, glowing with radiant light. To others, he is a ghostly specter, bearing a prophecy of doom. Can we trust the light he offers? Or must we remain wary of the darkness it conceals? Let us continue this journey of discovery, to uncover layer by layer the mysteries, where each detail holds truths so profound they may forever alter our understanding of the world. As the white light fades, the figure of the second horseman slowly emerges, riding a fiery red horse. From afar, its crimson hue sends shivers through the hearts of those who gaze upon it, like a harbinger of impending chaos and destruction. In his hand, he wields a great sword, its blade gleaming with a blood-red light, as if soaked with the cries and anguish of countless battles. The Red Horseman is the embodiment of war, bloodshed, conflict, and irreparable division. The red horse, symbolizing fire and destruction, represents the unquenchable flames of war. Each step of the horseman scatters embers, igniting those flames across the world. But these are not merely wars of conquest, they are also civil wars, where brothers who once shared the same roof now raise their swords against each other. This horseman brings not only death to the battlefield, but also sows seeds of hatred and division deep within human hearts. The great sword he carries is not just a weapon but a symbol of absolute power, granted the divine authority to take peace from the earth. He has the ability to stir rebellion and transform tranquil lands into blood-soaked battlegrounds. The fiery red of the horse he rides is not only the color of blood, but also the hue of flames consuming everything in their path, from grand cities to humble villages. The Red Horseman speaks no words, yet his mere presence is enough to shake the world. Each step of his horse echoes like a death knell, and every swing of his sword is a proclamation that none can escape his wrath. Is he merely a destroyer? Or does his brutality conceal a deeper message from God? That war not only devastates the external world but also mirrors the chaos within the human soul. When you gaze upon the second horseman, what will you see? A harbinger of destruction, or a figure forcing humanity to confront the conflicts of its own making? Let us delve deeper into the story of the Red Horseman to uncover whether war is truly a punishment or a chance for humanity to rise anew from the ashes. Emerging from the depths of the dark night, the third horseman appears atop a black horse, as if an endless void swallowing all hope. Unlike the other horsemen, he carries no sword, no bow, but in his hand is a scale, a simple yet haunting symbol. The scale sways with each motion, as though measuring the survival of humanity, delivering a cold and unforgiving judgment. The black horse, a color of gloom and poverty, is a harbinger of an impending famine that will engulf the world. Each step of its hooves echoes the desolation of barren fields, empty granaries, and the silent cries of those slowly wasting away from hunger. Unlike war, which brings immediate death, this horseman brings a slow, drawn-out demise, crushing human will bit by bit. A chilling voice resounds among the four living creatures, a quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius. But do not harm the oil and the wine. These words serve as a decree of social injustice. While the poor struggle to afford even basic sustenance, luxuries such as oil and wine, reserved for the wealthy, remain abundant and untouched. This imagery not only signifies a scarcity of food, but also highlights the stark disparities between the rich and the poor, and the boundless greed of humanity. The scale in the horseman's hand is not meant to weigh justice, but to measure inequity. It is a stark reminder that as essential resources become scarce, the ambitions of the powerful remain unyielding. The black horse represents not only famine, but also a metaphor for the erosion of ethics and compassion within human society. He does not come bearing hope, but forces humanity to confront harsh truths. The barren fields, outstretched hands of despair, and lifeless gazes are the marks he leaves behind. The black horseman wields no sword, yet each of his steps sows a decay far deeper than any blade could inflict. When you look upon the black horseman, what do you see? A symbol of punishment, or a warning that greed and injustice have brought humanity to the brink? Let us continue this journey of discovery to delve deeper into the haunting message he carries, a message that may compel us to reevaluate ourselves. As darkness engulfs the world, the fourth horseman emerges, riding atop a pale green horse, the color of cold death and decay. He brings no light, no radiance like the horseman before him. The sickly hue of his steed seems to whisper of rotting flesh, an echo of death itself reaching out to the living. This is no mere messenger, but the embodiment of death. And trailing behind him is Hades, the gateway to an inescapable hell. It is said that he needs no weapon, for his presence alone is a sentence of doom. Yet, in humanity's darkest visions, death is often depicted with a scythe, a cold and ruthless tool that severs life indiscriminately, sparing neither the great nor the humble. Endowed with the authority to kill by sword, famine, plague, and wild beasts, he does not discriminate but sweeps across humanity like a storm of annihilation. The pale green horse, a shade that belongs neither to life nor darkness, is the color of the liminal space between existence and oblivion. Its pallor evokes an unsettling chill, like the final breath before plunging into eternal night. Death, astride this spectral steed, needs no words or gestures. Each step of the horse resounds like a mournful requiem, guiding hopeless souls through the threshold of the underworld. But the devastation wrought by this horseman is no accident. In his hands lies the authority of God, the bearer of ultimate judgment. His cuts do not merely claim lives. They serve as retribution for the sins humanity has committed. The sword represents war. Famine strikes barren fields. Plague ravages every corner, and wild beasts become instruments of death. He brings forth all calamities, tolling the final bell for a world steeped in sin. Death does not hide in the shadows, but strides openly among mankind, a chilling reminder that all things must come to an end. He chooses neither time nor place, for he alone is unbound by any law. Behind him follows Hades, a yawning abyss ready to swallow the unfortunate souls, a place devoid of light and hope alike. When faced with the pale horseman, what do you see? A merciless force devoid of compassion, or the one who ends all suffering and chaos, offering humanity a chance for rebirth? Step into the deep shadows he casts, where life and death converge, and seek the answers hidden within the layers of ambiguity and haunting truths that death leaves behind. The four horsemen of the apocalypse are not merely supernatural figures in the Bible. They carry profound symbolism, representing the chain of calamities humanity has faced and will continue to face. They embody a tragic cycle, where each disaster is not isolated but intricately linked, forming an unbreakable sequence of events. It all begins with the White Horseman, symbolizing conquest, where ambition and power ignite invasions. But his victories do not bring peace. Instead, they pave the way for the Red Horseman, who follows with devastating wars. These wars not only ravage lands and lives, but also plunge humanity into scarcity and famine, where the Black Horseman sows despair. Finally, when everything is depleted, the Pale Horseman appears, bringing death to close this sorrowful circle. These are not merely individual catastrophes, but a chain reaction, with each link dragging the next into collapse. To modern scholars, however, the Four Horsemen also reflect actual historical events in the 1st century of Christianity. The white horse symbolizes the expansion and ambitions of empires. The red horse represents war and internal conflicts, particularly the bloody persecutions of Christians. The black horse evokes the image of prolonged famines, with soaring food prices and growing social inequality. Lastly, the pale horse signifies death, marking the collapse of a society no longer able to withstand the calamities it has created. These figures, whether interpreted through a religious or historical lens, carry a common message. Humanity cannot escape the consequences of its actions. Conquest, war, famine, and death are not merely natural disasters, but the results of ambition, conflict, and insatiable greed. The Four Horsemen serve as a warning about the cyclical tragedies humanity continues to endure, a pattern of suffering repeated throughout time and civilizations. But are these merely images of the past, or are they prophecies of a looming future? Are the Four Horsemen harbingers of ultimate destruction, or do they offer humanity a chance to reflect and change? Let us continue this journey of discovery, for their true meaning may be far deeper than we have ever imagined. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse have transcended their origins as religious symbols to leave an indelible mark on popular culture. With their powerful imagery, they have become a source of inspiration for countless works of art, films, and video games, carrying an aura of mystery and irresistible power. On screen, the Four Horsemen are often reimagined with fresh and creative approaches. In the film X-Men: Apocalypse, they are depicted as loyal warriors serving Apocalypse, each representing a calamity tied to their biblical origins. Meanwhile, in the series Supernatural, the Four Horsemen appear as supernatural beings wielding immense power, spreading destruction wherever they go. Their presence not only creates a dramatic atmosphere, but also evokes a sense of dread and fascination in viewers. Beyond film, the Four Horsemen are intricately woven into the world of comic books. Both Marvel and DC Comics have introduced them into their superhero universes, transforming them into multifaceted characters with unique powers and compelling backstories. They are not just formidable adversaries, but also psychological challenges, forcing superheroes to confront their own limits. In the video game industry, the Four Horsemen continue to assert their magnetic appeal. Popular titles like Call of Duty and Final Fantasy have incorporated them as pivotal elements of their storylines, delivering thrilling and epic experiences. Players must not only face their destructive power, but also decipher the hidden messages in each of their movements. What stands out is that the Four Horsemen are never confined to a single narrative framework. Each work offers a distinct perspective, portraying them as symbols of destruction or as reflections of internal human conflicts. This versatility has made the Four Horsemen enduring icons, continuously inspiring and igniting the imaginations of generations. Through the creative lens of humanity, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse have far surpassed their original religious significance. They are not merely harbingers of destruction, but also keys that unlock profound philosophical questions about the meaning of life and death. No matter the artistic medium in which they appear, they retain a unique allure, perpetually drawing curiosity and sparking reflection. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are not merely symbols of harsh destruction, but also serve as a powerful reminder to humanity of the inevitable consequences of its own actions. From ambitious conquests to war, from relentless famine to silent death, each horseman represents a link in the chain of tragedy that the world has faced, is facing, and may continue to face. They are not just supernatural figures, but mirrors reflecting the choices and consequences humanity must bear. Although rooted in religious stories from the Bible, the imagery of the Four Horsemen has transcended the boundaries of faith to become a widely recognized cultural symbol. With their unique appeal, they appear in art, literature, film, and video games, where the destruction they bring not only instills fear, but also ignites imagination and raises profound questions about human nature. The Four Horsemen embody a timeless message that life and death, light and darkness, always coexist, and within destruction, there sometimes lies an opportunity for humanity to reflect, learn, and change. For this reason, they are not merely symbols of the end, but also a warning, a reminder that humanity still has a chance to steer away from the path to ruin.
Your journey of discovery has just begun. If you are curious and passionate about uncovering the world's unsolved mystery, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button for egg mystery and join us in unraveling surprising truths in upcoming videos.